So to get right to the point, DoorDash only pays drivers $2.50 per delivery/pickup. And on peak pay, it's sometimes $3.50 per order or when you accept an order. Literally, all it takes is $4 as a tip, which would bring the total pay for the DoorDasher up to $6.50. This is at minimum the lowest amount I personally accept. I will accept $6.50 for days, unless it's an outrageously long distance. But for most distances, at least in Traverse City, $6.50 is appropriate and considerate. Unless it's an outrageous distance away, then I would suggest that you increase it more than $4 for obvious reasonings. The thing is, I'd rather not even call it tipping or the tipping part of the order. Not even a tip at all. As it should be called, instead of tip, it should be called simply, how much are you paying to have your food picked up and delivered to you? Portion of the order rather than tip, because that's essentially what it is. You're paying the restaurant whatever you're paying them to do their job, aka cook the food for you. So you should therefore pay your driver for picking it up and delivering it to you. It's only logic going on here. Logic 101. You pay the eatery for doing their job, you pay the DoorDasher for doing their job. Unfortunately, for the portion of paying your driver to do their job, they, as DoorDash, refer to that as a tip. You get the idea. As there is the amount you pay to the eatery, as I was saying before, so you then should pay the person who's driving, picking up, and delivering your food. So they're two separate payments, just one is called tips, while the other is your main payment to the eatery. So you get what I'm saying here, right? So if you're not willing to pay your driver in tips, aka paying your driver for doing their job, at least $4, then honestly, go fuck yourself. You're a good-for-nothing asshat. Not paying someone to do a task or a job is the ultimate showing of how much of a fuckwit you are. So in closing to this, if you can't afford an additional $4 in tips, aka $4 towards your DoorDasher delivering your food to you, on top of what you're already paying for the food itself, aka you're paying the restaurant and you're paying $4 at minimum for your DoorDash driver, then you should not be ordering food in the first fucking place. Much less getting food out in any capacity, as you would not be able to tip your waiter or waitress even $4 either, which of course additionally makes you a dirtbag. As such, I'm not even doing this for the money, as I don't need DoorDash. And this shit bugs me. Like, I don't even need to do it for the money. I just do it to keep myself entertained. So I cannot even imagine how egregious, yes, egregious, it must be for those who actually depend on DoorDash as their main source of income, aka to pay their bills, pay their rent, pay their everything, whatever they depend on it for. It's disrespectful, to put it lightly. But at the same time, declining these ignorant douche canoes is pretty satisfying too, because they get to face the consequences of their shitty decisions and shitty actions of not paying their driver. Therefore, they do something shitty, and in return, they get declined faster than that of 1,000 suns combined. AKA, they do not get their food. Get wrecked, fuckface. So, what I've had up to the left of me here, or to your right, whatever, is two vastly different orders. And they were only in the span of 3 minutes. So, I declined that shitty order, of course, and it only took an additional 3 minutes, and then another order showed up, and what you know it was for a considerable difference in payment. People will always decline the crappy low-baller orders for the better ones, every time. So if you're sitting there complaining, oh, I'm not getting my food, oh, my food's been sitting out for so long it got cold. Well, obviously, you're not doing your part there, partner. This is why we decline these $2.50 orders or non-tippers. So, usually what happens is I'll decline it, and then my next order, or a few minutes later or whatever, I'll get an incredible offer that comes next, which in turn doesn't waste my time, and I'm getting compensated way better, and the person who's ordering gets their food in a prompt and appropriate time and manner at that. So, everybody wins. That said, since it's evidently needed, I've been keeping this side by side to show how to order versus how not to order, to make it very, very easy to understand. As such, look at it this way. You need something built, right? So you have someone come over and build it for you, whether it be a house, a shed, whatever. Alright? So they do their job. Are you going to pay them? No? Imagine you in their position. Right? So, if you were the person that came over and built a house as a contractor or whatever, and you were not paid, how much would that bug you? Or a plumber. If you, as a plumber, went to some place and did your job, would you expect payment? Pretty sure you would. So, if you're doing a job, you should therefore get paid to do said job, right? Logic says, yeah, you should. Unfortunately, the payment is called tips, for DoorDash at least. So, that in mind, how much would you want to get paid for doing a job, for driving so-and-so amount of distance? Generally, most of these hardcore DoorDashers do this whole $1 per mile thing. So, for instance, if they have to drive 6 miles, they'll want a $6 thing, so $4 added to their $2.50 that they're already getting, right? So $4 to go 6 miles, kind of thing. Most people will try to say, well, that means they want like $12 because they're going 6 miles there and 6 miles back. No, it's only for the distance to the location, not the return. So $4 would equal to $6, which would cover the 6 miles for their $1 per mile, what have you. So that's something else to keep in mind. I don't personally go by that method. Like for that $10 order that you see there, I would have accepted $6. I don't care. But not a lot of people are like me in that way because they actually really need every little bit that they can get. So that all said, I'm pretty sure I got the point across. I'm sure a lot of DoorDashers will agree with me Not because they're money hungry or anything, but it's just common decency, being respectful, courteous, and paying them to do their job. Unfortunately, a lot of assholes will try to manipulate the situation by using the DoorDash payment thing of tips and try to say, well, we only tip based on service and quality of this or quality of that, as if it's some sort of waitress and waiter situation, when it's completely not that at all. And while they can manipulate and make this argument based off of the terminology of the payment process being called tips, that only shows how shitty of a person they are. Because any decent, half-decent human being would realize that this part of the payment process called tips is actually the wage in which they are paying their driver to do a job. Anything other than that thought process is just being a shitty human being in general. Because you're trying, as a non-tipper, what they're trying to do is trying to have someone do a job, do a task, and not pay them for it. There's nothing, well, there is a lot of things, but when it comes to the working life and the working ways, there's nothing worse that you can do to a worker than not pay them for doing their job. And it shows your shitty character as someone who's ordering from DoorDash. It says everything about your character, that you're a shitty person. Just don't order from DoorDash if you're not willing to pay your driver in the tips, aka what they are being paid for. Pay them $4, and if you live way out in Pakistan, pay them more than $4. Make it worth their while. You get your food, they get compensated for doing their job. Easy peasy, everybody wins. And if it's really that much, if $4, $6, whatever dollars is gonna break you from, what you're already paying, make or break, then you shouldn't be going out to eat. You shouldn't be ordering from DoorDash in the first place. Because if you can't even give $4 to your DoorDasher or $6 or whatever to your DoorDasher, that means you definitely can't tip your waiter or waitress a decent amount either. Because $4 or $6 on a $32 whatever order is lowballing the waiter and waitress in a super disrespectful way too. At least put a 10 on that or something. $8 on that, I don't know. But definitely not a 4 or a 6 in a actual restaurant. Holy shit, dude. So, yeah, it's cheaper to tip a DoorDasher than tip a waiter and waitress. So if you can't even do a simple tip to your DoorDash driver, I can't even imagine how egregious he must be at a fucking restaurant, you piece of shit. But anyway, like I said before, the concept is simple, not hard to go by. Pay your fucking driver for doing their fucking job. End of fucking story. Until next time.